What's up guys, welcome back to a new full self-driving video. This is full self-driving version 12. Let's see what the software says exactly what it is, because we got a new update a couple days ago, 12.3.6. This is the version that the man himself, Elon, says is supposed to be the start to robotaxi. We are out of beta, we're in supervised mode, so we can't not be fully autonomous in the backseat. That's coming. Seems to be like August, but this is the first time that we're gonna be going on the road fully autonomous, and we're just supposed to supervise it. Last time we did a video, Logan, if you remember, it was a bit issue-y in the neighborhoods and almost hit a person on a bike.
Yeah, it was really jerky too. Like when you'd be moving and it would just like jerk forward and like change speeds kind of suddenly. So that's what I remember from the full self-driving last time.
Yeah. So we have a couple different things. Logan, you've experienced the auto park, where you can select the parking spot and be able to automatically park. But today we're going to let it fully self-drive us to the same destination, GameStop, that we did last time, and see how that does this time, right? Yep. So Logan will be the one kind of giving its play-by-play throughout the drive here. It's about a 15-minute drive. So
I'm the less knowledgeable. Like I'm the layperson's.
He's the average Joe.
Yeah, I'm the layperson's reactions.
That's right.
That's what my job is.
So typically we're supposed to give it some acceleration to get out of here, but I'm gonna let it actually just take us there completely. So from the driveway completely, we're gonna try, but I don't know if that's gonna be possible just yet. It doesn't look like it. So what we're gonna do is we gotta let it get out of the driveway area. That hopefully will happen soon. It's supposed to work, but some complexes like myself right now is unfortunately having issues where you are disengaged. So we're gonna get back to the neighborhood street, and then we will not drive the rest of this drive unless of an emergency. So we will put it on right now and we'll let it go. We'll let it take us there. It says speed limit's 10, which it really is not, but we're gonna let it do it anyways. And yeah, hopefully we don't have to.
There just switches 25.
Yep, there you go. And hopefully you guys like this new point of view here, where you're gonna see a camera on like Grand Theft Auto third person point of view. Look at that, that was good. And then also have it inside here with showing you guys the camera or the screen showing you what it sees. So the goal is for us to not take over once. Obviously we have to touch the steering wheel every couple minutes here to let the car know that we're still awake. But for the most part, we should not have to drive this whole drive at all, hopefully. Good. It's a couple little obstacles getting out of the neighborhood, and pretty good, I was saying. A little slow, but good. Usually it gets a little bit more fun when we get out of the neighborhood here. I like that turn. Did very well. We were up to speed really quickly.
Yeah, the acceleration was nice.
It's got a new thing called Auto Max, so it's gonna use its AI to determine the speed. So one thing you complained about last time, Logan, was when we're going on a 45-mile-an-hour road, but human drivers behind us were kind of up on us because, you know, technically we should be going 45, but ideally humans like to speed a little bit. So, you know, so this is supposed to maintain the same speed as traffic around us. So therefore allow us to be able to not get honked at or people riding our ass. So that's the goal. Hopefully that works. We'll see. This is the first time I'm allowing it to completely drive itself from one destination to another, and we'll see how it goes. Uh-oh, water with the camera outside. Oh well. This camera is somewhat waterproof, so we'll see how that goes. Okay, so it makes a stop, then creeping forward. Very curious if we're gonna wait for the green light or not here. Okay. Well, it stopped. Now it's going
shouldn't have
for
gone
it.
in the first place.
Yeah. Well, it went. I almost had to take control right there, but
It went farther forward than it definitely should have.
Yes.
I don't know if it could see.
I don't know.
I think that might have been the issue.
Not sure.
Because there was kind of a little bit of a slope there.
I had my
It's hard
foot
to see.
ready to brake right there. I was hoping that wasn't going to be the first time to interject, but we did it. We're still live, fortunately.
We're still alive.
Yeah, this is the first time I'm driving with the camera on the outside for a while too, so hopefully we don't lose a camera. That will be very sucky. So we will see how that goes. Version 11, when it was the last bit of being in beta, it went through a serious amount of recalls the government put it through, which meant that the nag system that tells us to hold the steering wheel or pay attention to the road was getting really obnoxious, and a lot of people were getting striked for it. Fortunately, it does look like they did get rid of some of that, so it seems to be a lot more relaxed compared to what it was a couple months ago, so that's definitely a good thing.
Something I've noticed, and I've done the full self-driving, like this version before with in the car with you, through some points of certain trips. It's a lot smoother. It feels a lot more like a person's driving the car. Whereas before I mentioned it was like really jerky and kind of, it felt like a robot driving essentially.
Yeah.
And here it really does feel more like a person's driving the car. It feels a lot more smooth. And it kind of puts you at ease a little bit more than it was before, because it's like, oh, it feels a lot more natural, I guess.
It does, yeah. And a lot of people on the road also are, I guess, probably not expecting it to be a robot driving, more like a human driving. So that's ultimately the biggest thing I want, is to make sure it mimics the human drivers as well, because we don't need it to be a situation where it's being a robot and it's following the law to the book, therefore making it robotic. So.
Well, and the way AI works in that sense is that it learns from humans.
Yes.
So that's what kind of the beta was doing, was learning from us.
Yeah.
And then it takes that information, puts it all together, and it kind of, this is the result.
Yeah, so this is the first update where all human written code has been voided, and it's now writing its own code every time we drive. So it's pretty impressive the way you think about it.
It's kind of interesting to see some of the reactions from other drivers. So we have the camera like up in the back. I see them looking over at the car like, what's going on?
Yep. Yeah, we got like a giant antenna in the back of our car now to give you guys the view. Hopefully it's a good view. I think it will look cool. But to kind of give you guys a couple comments I got in the last video was people really wanted to see what it looked like outside of the vehicle more than what it is inside. So therefore this video is just to show you more of what it is outside while showing you what the computer sees as well. But it's doing pretty good. We'll see how it does. I do remember there was a time when we were taking this route, it did turn left and went off of GPS into a different route.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how that goes in that turn. Hopefully it doesn't make that turn this time. GPS says otherwise, but we'll see.
Light traffic for this time of day too. I was kind of expecting it to be
rush hour.
tested a bit more in like heavier traffic, but at least this road is not that. As you can see, it's almost 6 o'clock now. I expect to see more traffic on this road, but I guess not.
A video I saw of this working with someone else testing it out is they called it very boring, which is a good thing. Meaning there's less excitement in regards to it giving it a possibility of going into an accident, which is a good thing. I'd rather it be a boring drive. Therefore, when it gets to robotaxi, that means we don't have to supervise this. We can just relax and multitask at that point and do other things. So that typically is what the goal is to Alright guys, before we continue into FSD version 12, I had to take a quick moment to showcase one of the coolest air fresheners I've ever seen. Vicseed makes a smart AI air freshener. I know that sounds ridiculous, but hear me out. What makes this thing amazing is that it has a sensor that automatically turns the fan on and off anytime you come in or out of the car. On top of that, it does not need to stay plugged in 24/7 as it has a rechargeable battery. This fits not only in a Tesla, but anywhere you have a cup holder. So definitely click the first link down below to check it out. Thank you so much Vicseed for sending this product to check out. Now let's head back to the video. Avoid driving completely in one day. So,
You might still be a ways away from that, but I think it's definitely interesting to think about.
oh wow, this is insane. So it saw the cars in front of us on what legally I don't think that's supposed to happen, but it saw the cars in front of us do exactly that maneuver going around the guy that was turning left in the single lane and smoothly went over. That was
right around him. It did hit the turn signal, which it didn't need to do.
Yeah,
I guess it's programmed to hit it if you're changing lanes,
yeah.
But didn't necessarily need to in that situation.
No, definitely not. But overall though, it felt very smooth and no jerks or slamming on the brakes. Version 11 would have probably just braked and we would have been waiting behind that guy. So that was pretty good. I like that. You know, what they're saying this is supposed to be like eventually one day is obviously Robotaxi. Made a good comparison to back in the day riding an elevator. There used to be an operator that used to operate the elevator for you because it was a bit dangerous to do so, and that was a job. But now we just go in an elevator, we press the button, and we get to the floor we want to go to, no problem. We don't even think that, oh my god, there needs to be a job for something so simple. Well, the same idea is for, unfortunately, Uber drivers, taxi drivers, Lyft, etc. Are to no longer need a job because the robot's supposed to do it for you. The cars are supposed to make money for its owner while it's doing its 9-to-5 job. So it's an interesting concept, and part of me agrees that I feel like it would be a cool thing to have, but I hate seeing people lose jobs in public transportation or in any job really. So, you know, you think of it one way is that robots really are taking human jobs, and then you look at it as another point of view as well, it's making our lives a bit easier as well. So there's pros to cons to both. It's your personal opinion to whatever you think is best, but the overall goal is to make it autonomous, and it's definitely getting there.
Yeah, and I don't think that like public transport thing would go away completely.
Yeah,
I think we would still see, you know, those as it's just another option for you if you want to do the Robotaxi or whatever. Like it might be cheaper, right? It might be cheaper, and it would eliminate that human element, which isn't always the best. But I think that human element would still be an option for you if you wanted to do that.
Yeah, I
don't think it's ever going to completely replace that.
If it's an option and it doesn't completely remove people's jobs, I'm all for it. And I do believe that it would be cheaper because if you think about it here, you're not paying for someone's hourly wage or income, so you're just paying for that ride. I like how it's moving into a lane that has less traffic in it to try to maneuver through. Model Y up here.
Yeah, I wonder, this is about the time if you were driving where you would get over, although this lane I didn't.
Yeah, this lane ends.
Yeah.
So we definitely need to move over soon, and I'm curious if this, like right here is probably where I would have moved in, but it is deciding that. I just decided a little later than I wanted it to. But it's so funny, people are keeping a distance from me.
Because of the camera, yeah.
It's perfect, I like it.
Yeah, it does make it a little bit easier on us.
This is a Model Y. Midnight Silver or a Stealth Gray option, one of the two. Very nice. It's the car I'm looking to get soon. But overall, I mean, we could call this drive pretty boring.
Yeah, it has been for the most part.
You know, there's not much to it.
We've hit the traffic.
Yeah, we hit the traffic part, which is nice. We have about 5 minutes left to our drive, but I think overall, it was way better
We only
than.
got 5 minutes left.
Yeah.
That was fast. I did not think I did not think it was that.
Yeah,
we were that close.
This is quick. That's what I mean.
Excuse me.
My whole goal to this video is to just be honest and show people that are interested in full self-driving what it's capable of, and because the price is reduced in half now. It used to be $200 a month, or $12,000, or $15,000 for ever, and now it's only $100 a month, or $8,000 forever. So the price has gone down a lot, and some people like, oh, the price went down because the demand went down, but actually it's the complete opposite. He says as full self-driving becomes more autonomous, he aims to put the price lower, because the people that were early adopters are strictly there to just pay for the development to get further. Makes sense in that overall thing. If you think about it, when
now there's no human element to it, there's less money that has to be spent.
Exactly, yeah.
into the development of it.
There's not as much development needed because the car is developing itself at this point. So when technology, releases at the first part, it's more expensive. Like a cell phone, great, an iPhone 15 is going to be close to like $1,400, but then a year later it's going to drop below $1,000. That's just the way technology works. And just because this technology is more software based, it doesn't mean it's not going to act the same way for price. So we got a couple turns coming up to get to that parking lot, but this, I guess, would be the last 5-minute excitement. Hopefully we get some. I mean, I guess I don't want anything bad to happen, but I kind of wanted something more entertaining. I don't know. We'll see how this ends up turning out.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like I said, it feels a lot smoother.
Yeah.
And it has felt a lot smoother. It's driving more like a person would, which is exactly what you want in the sense of, going with the flow of traffic, or like just being on the road with other people. It's now completely like an AI code that's driving like a person.
Yeah. So it is avoiding the mall parking lot, which is okay. We're gonna let it go through that neighborhood.
Slowed down a little sooner than I thought it would.
Yeah, luckily we didn't have any cars behind us, but definitely, I think the speed is the biggest thing that needs to work on, because, I'd be going about 30 right now. And I know maybe that's not safest, but I wish there was a setting there used to be like a Mad Max setting. I want that Mad Max mode.
I think it takes extra caution when in neighborhoods because of all the extenuating circumstances. Things like, a kid running into the street, or a dog, or whatever, like anything like that could happen in neighborhoods that isn't necessarily happening on major roads.
That's true.
So it is nice to see it kind of taking that precaution. Like we saw when we were in your neighborhood, it actually stopped for a car that was pulling out of its driveway when it was still in the driveway.
Got this one too. So
yeah, the car that it stopped for earlier was still in its driveway. It still stopped for it and let the guy come out before
That's true.
It went going.
See, like right now, I feel like we're going a little slower than I would go, but we do have a lot of moving traffic. We got a person learning to drive right now. Good amount of little traffic happening. Got 3 minutes left. Actually, did not know there was a park right here. It'd be exciting to review this footage and see if I can catch anybody outside looking at the stick.
It does have kind of a wide view when we saw when you were looking at the.
Well, it's got 360, so
yeah.
You can turn it anytime and post edit. Alright, so we're coming up to the stop sign. We gotta go onto a road here. It's gonna need to creep forward in order to even see anything, and it's using that blue line to say that's its imaginary stop. So I'm sure it can see everything now, and it's more of is it gonna just jump at a time it feels most confident, or are we just gonna wait for traffic to die down? It's the scariest parts about it.
I think it's probably gonna go right after this.
Yep, the steering wheel's moving. Very good, very good. A little slow too.
Yeah, a little slow coming out of it. I thought it would have accelerated faster. It did go when like I would have gone if I were driving. Like that's what I would have done.
Just a little slower.
Yeah.
All right, so Logan, I don't know if you remember, we're coming up to a couple weird turns here.
Yeah.
It's a right and then another instant right into that parking lot. And that's where that bike just came out. We had that car that was randomly turning.
Yeah, well this turn is the one it took kind of early.
Yeah.
In terms of what
Oh
I
yeah,
thought
that one
take.
intersection.
It took it way early because it didn't realize the car's turning left. It kind of just sped out in front of them.
Yeah, this is the exciting part. It's like the last big amount of, I guess, challenge before we end the drive here. Soon, we're supposed to have it do end-to-end drive, where it will drive off from your parking spot and then automatically park itself without human interaction. We are not there yet for end-to-end, but it's supposed to come. Technically, the car will park itself. We'll have it do it. Okay, so we should be hugging the right lane right now, but we're gonna let it do its thing. We're good. There's no cars around us. It should technically go over another lane, but I think we might be going turn from the far lane, which will be interesting. It might make. Okay.
We did that really late, but
Yeah,
it did go
it's
over.
going through. This is the fun
Got
part
green
right
light
here.
this time.
Yep. Okay.
Look up for bikes.
So, yep. We're all looking pretty good. And then we should be making a left. Okay, I guess, it made the lane changes a little late than I would have liked, but for the most part, will it stop here? Yeah, it will. Very good. I'm waving at them because the robot can't. Because I'm like, I'm not driving, so you just go. Okay, we're good. So this is where it's going to stop us. So we're going to take over at this point, and we'll have it auto park where we did last time. And we'll end the drive here. But overall, Logan, your final thoughts?
I think that it was. I said a couple times during the drive too that it was a lot smoother than it was last time, and it's just I think there's a lot of things where it's taking a bit more caution than I would. But other than that, I think more caution in terms of like a robot learning, I think is better than less caution.
Yeah.
So I think that's to be expected, and it, like I said, it definitely feels more like a human's driving, which is ultimately the goal. To have the robot drive like a human would and just kind of be on the road at the same time as human drivers.
Yeah, I definitely feel it was a lot better. It's not like in this parking spot because this bush right here.
I was gonna say it's having some trouble.
If you look at this, the bush is kind of in the spot, so it's kind of afraid of the bush. But I think we're gonna be able to get in parked. There you go. There we go. Oh, I think. Yep. Okay. So I think it was way better than last drive.
Definitely.
I think this drive was a success compared to last drive. I didn't freak out once. There was one moment right in the beginning when it was about to go in front of that 4Runner, but it ended up stopping.
That was the major hiccup.
That was the biggest thing. The neighborhood, it's a little slow for my opinion, but like you said, there is a lot of different things that can happen in the neighborhood. But I think, what did we rate the last one?
Maybe you give it a 6. Maybe
Yeah.
a 5. 6.
I'd say go 8.
think
I would
8
go
makes a
8.
lot of sense,
Yeah.
It wasn't perfect, but there was a lot to like about it. A lot that was better than last time.
Yeah, 8 out. I think we're agreeing on an 8 this time. I would like to say it's above a 10 somehow, but that won't be until you and I will be sitting in the back seat for the whole drive.
Is that the next video in the series?
Hopefully, eventually that's gonna get to that. So when that happens, that's gonna be pretty scary.
I remember.
I don't know if we're gonna do that. We've done summon in the back seat.
I was gonna say you've put me in the back seat for like a summon mode type thing, but it is a little different, and we've always done it in an empty parking lot.
Yes, and but I know it's gonna get to that point one day, and when it does, it's gonna be unreal. And I look forward to rolling down my window while the car's driving and waving at people. Like when they can figure out the legal issues, I'm all for it. I would love to do it.
Yeah, I think, like I said earlier in the drive, I think we're still a long ways away from that being the case, but
I think one day we'll get there.
I think one day we'll get there. It's just a matter of when.
So, all right, I'm gonna end the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and you guys take care. Bye bye.